what's your name?
My name is Melissa L Brewer.
And where are you from?
I'm from San Diego.
San Diego?
Diego.
So what brings you down to Tucson, Arizona?
Doing graduate school, so studying public health here.
Oh, okay. Do you like being out here in Tucson?
Tucson is an interesting town. It took me a minute, but it's grown on me. The skies are amazing, and hiking and all of that. So, yeah, I like it. I like it. It's a different kind of love that you have for the scenery here. So,
so you play music?
he's cracking me up. So I play music.
Yeah. What's your favorite? So what's your favorite instrument?
Oh my gosh, I love a banjo, but I can't play one. I play the guitar. That's kind of a new deal for me. I'm a singer by love. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, performing is kind of like, and I joke all the time with my friends and people, and I say I'm not technical. So I always say I don't write songs, I write feelings. So I'm not a songwriter. I get a feeling and I write a feeling, and that's what I know how to make. But and that's kind of the same thing with performing. I mean, that's just kind of like the gravy, is getting to be there and connecting with other people and hopefully connecting some emotion in them. And, that's kind of like the human to human message. So,
Do you have any projects coming up?
Well, this music that I'm writing now, which of course is acoustic, and it's just in the beginning stages of it. We got Patrick, playing guitar, and doing the more kind of dynamic, cool things there with the instruments. And it's just the two of us, so it's been about a month now. So I'm looking to put percussion in on that, and a few other musicians. But my hope with that is to write this music and start playing, and actually start doing some fundraising out of that for organizations, for nonprofit organizations here in Tucson. So specifically organizations that work with kids that are rescued from trafficking situations and that. So they establish safe housing for them and all of that kind of thing. So I'd like to link into that and kind of put into the community that way through music. So that's my hope.
Do you have any? Do you have like a musical background? Like any of your family members play?
Oh man, the entire family. We get together and it's just ridiculous showcase of one person to the next. So my dad plays music, and he played, and I laugh about that. He played in bands when I was growing up in Colorado, and the one that we joke about is Robin and the Hoods. Favorite band name ever. And so he played. My father's one of those musicians who can pick up any instrument by ear. So he has a little music studio out here in Tucson in his house, and he plays keyboards, bass, guitar. He plays violin, banjo. That man can just pick up about anything, and he just spends his time laying down kind of tracks and music for enjoyment. And then my mother is a vocalist and played violin. And then pretty much my entire extended family, my brother, sister-in-law. I've got a cousin in Nashville who's now doing really well. I see moments of beauty in every soul. Sometimes moments like desert rain, I breathe and then gone. And I see the philosophy of a torn-hearted lover, wrapped up tight, tighter still, 'cause I don't let myself go here, and I'm wounded. I am wounded. I still see, I still see, and I see a vast God who loves me, and I see His church still striving for freedom and not to hurt, and I'm wounded. I am wounded. I'm wounded. I still see, I still see. And I see a people, an earth that's groaning for peace, and I see children's faces begging for refuge in me, and I'm wounded. I am wounded. I'm wounded. But I still see, I still see, and I'm wounded. I am wounded. I'm wounded. But I still see, I still see, I still see, and I still sing, and I still see beauty. I still see, I still see. way I write songs, I mean, they just usually happen. You know, that song "Wounded," it's like it's inspired by kind of my perception of the world and social justice versus just seeing beauty. I didn't write it; I just felt it, and that's just how it came out the first time that I played it. So that doesn't always happen, but generally when I write songs, they're just a feeling, and they come straight out that way. So. I don't like to be too regimented, you know, with music for myself, because I want it to just be something I love all the time. A lot of the time I write songs that kind of capture the contrast, you know, or the struggles that we have between beautiful things that we see and tragic things, you know, or the line there that says, "I see children's faces seeking refuge from me," you know, basically, and that just speaks about my heart for, you know, helping people and the work that I do with children. I've worked for over 14 years with children in, you know, behavioral health in poor neighborhoods that are removed from their homes, that are abused, that are traumatized. That's the work that I do, and so a lot of my music is about those types of things that I see that sometimes people don't want to face, you know, they don't want to talk about them because they're not lovely. The first album I ever stumbled across that just hit me to my core was 8 years old, and it was Johnny Cash, of course. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die, and I rewound that line over and over again out in Colorado in this old house out on the farm when I stumbled upon that, and that was the most profound sharing of emotion that I could have recognized at 8 years old. So I just thought, oh my gosh, how this person can get across this kind of feeling, you know, through this box on the floor that I'm listening to in this room with nobody else here. That was amazing to me. So that was kind of my first take on, I want to hit people that way, you know. You know, so.
Yeah. Do you have any albums out?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Okay. How many albums do you have out?
Just one with that band that was in from back in San Diego. The band was Dakota Motor Company. That was that little surf punk band then. And then several demos and that sort of thing around Tucson that we've sold as we've done our shows here with my brother's band and that band.
So what artists influence you to play the music you play?
Oh, wow. Wow. You know, I guess I'd have to say there's a combination there. My past band history has been kind of more the punk rock, sort of surf punk, out of California kind of feeling. And I grew up with a mix of bluegrass music, kind of coming out of Colorado and that sort of deal, mixed with the punk rock scene. So I come from kind of the more like old style punk rock. Love Iggy and, you know, and obviously just Bad Religion and some of the cool bands like that, female artists, of course, X and those types. But this is really mellow music that I'm playing and all acoustic and that. So I feel like some of the kind of Colorado childhood roots, not so punk rock, are coming back into play with some of the more kind of organic kind of sounds. So.
Okay, so when you were in a band, did you guys travel to like a lot of different places?
We did. The band that I was in way back in California, out of San Diego, that was the kind of surf punk band. We were signed on Atlantic Records, and we got to tour all around the country here and England and cruise around to Hawaii and places like that to play. That was a blast. That was a fun experience. And then other bands just around California and the West Coast here. So, yeah. And now I'm in Tucson. So.
And so how long did you play in a band?
That particular band for a few years, 3-4 years. And then I've been in several other bands in San Diego and a couple of bands here in Tucson. One was called Red Vinyl 45, and that was with my brother here in Tucson when I first moved here. So that was fun. Got to play all around the town. That we were talking about city limits and North on 4th when that was still that, and the Rock and some of those places, those venues. So that was fun. But very different sound. That was a much heavier, kind of darker kind of sound. So, okay.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. And she tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not some victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, there was a time when you let me know what's really going on below. But now you never show that to me, do ya? But remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. is a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
So what advice do you have for upcoming artists coming up now?
Oh, wow. That's the classic question, right?
There you go.
Okay, here's my advice. I know so many musicians who are brilliant musicians, and they just blow doors on me musically and technically. The greatest advice that I have for people is to feel their music, to have times where they're not thinking so much about the structure. They're not thinking all the time about the notes, the structure, the layout, the arrangement, but to actually balance that out with times of just playing and just singing random feelings, as they come. So I think that kind of stretches and grows the spirit. So that's something that I would promote. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for letting me interview you.
Thank you.
Today, and